Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm on staff here at Hoboken Grace, and I'd say my journey with Hoboken Grace began back in 2011. I became a Christ follower kind of late in life. I was in graduate school and recently been kind of on this track of finding out what role I play in God's story. And my entire life, I've pursued a career in the arts. I was an actor I went to grad school for it, I went to undergrad for it, and that's how I got to be a part of Hoboken Grace. I was in the middle of a show and I met who would now be my wife, Dana, and through dating and courtship and all that good stuff, we became engaged. And after I realized I was going to lose the battle of either living in Manhattan or moving to Hoboken, I decided that I should probably start getting involved in her church. And I started to attend Hoboken Grace, and I'll never forget the first Sunday that I went there. Pastor Chris was talking about the table, and there was this gigantic dining room table on stage, and the message was just so powerful, and the music and the people were so welcoming, even though I had only met a handful of them. And before you know it, Pastor Chris had actually asked me to come with all of the church leaders to something that was called Catalyst, a leaders conference where I got to hear some incredible speakers, Andy Stanley, Tony Hawk, and I was just amazed that he's asking me to come and join them on this journey. And as soon as I moved to Hoboken, I became involved. Chris then asked me to join the speaking team. And here I am. I'm used to memorizing scripts and I'm used to speaking on camera and on stage, but I never thought in a million years I'd be preparing messages or sermons. And then in August of 2012, I gave my very first message. And over the course of the next year, we just really started working together. And I'll never forget, it was a year later, August 2013, that I was having some issues with my job. I worked in higher education, and I brought it to Pastor Chris. And that following Sunday, he came up to me and said, "What do you think about coming on board full-time at Hoboken Grace?" And I remember thinking to myself, I was just wanting to complain about my job. I didn't think that you were going to pursue me to offer me one. But I had a month in Scotland. I had gone to direct a show, and I said, well, let me think about it. Let me see what God wants me to do. And I remember going to Scotland, and I had to prepare a message by the time I came back on God's plans versus good plans. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I have spent my whole life working to be an actor, a teacher. I'm focusing on this plan because I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And the whole time I'm in Scotland and preparing this message, God is really saying, well, that's a good plan, but are you going to follow my plan? And ironically, this whole message ended up being about God's plans versus good plans. And in January of 2014, I came on board full-time here at Hoboken Grace to help run the Uptown location as well as to be the outreach guy. And at times I've been nervous, at times I've been scared, at times I have had no idea what I was doing. But at the end of the day, just knowing that I'm playing a part in God's story and still living my story is what makes it all worth it.